proper way to install a camshaft. Wood, hammer, hook down. Actually, how about this? If this channel gets 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I will make this motor run again. And our last bit of housekeeping before we head over to the OG's house. Congratulations to our last week's Give Back program winners. We have our LasFit LED lights, our reverse lights, and license plate lights for these beautiful trucks right over there. Congratulations to our winners. Thank you so much for everybody for participating in this Give Back program. I love doing this stuff and partnering with these amazing companies to do things like this. For you guys to not miss out on any future programs, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and turn on that notification bell. Without further ado, guys, let's get going, build the family up, and crank on it. Nothing like some banana trees to make you feel at home. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the OG Lonestar Hawaiian garage right over there. We are in fact finally, I'm saying finally because I've wanted to do this for years. I have kept this thing here in the corner since I was in high school. What this is a 350 small block out of a 1980s Corvette. If you do know anything about Chevy small blocks, the 80s were not a good thing. Through emissions regulations and government interference and all that other fun stuff, the 350s were completely strangled and made absolutely no power. The reason this is here is my dad and I actually pulled this out of a 1980s, I can't even remember the year, I think it was an 84 or 87 Corvette, and replaced it with a ZC4 crate motor for that gentleman. Now, in payment of that swap, he gave us his old one. What had happened to this one, I think one of the valves collapsed, and I went ahead and rebuilt it when I was in high school, but unfortunately, just never got it started. I was initially gonna put this in my 1984 Monte Carlo, but we did kind of run out of time on that project. I moved out to Hawaii and then served a 2-year mission out in the Philippines. Long story short, years and years went by. Monte Carlo was never finished. We sold the Monte Carlo, but this thing has remained in the garage. There is so much sentimental value here because this is the first motor I ever worked on with my dad. As far as a crate motor out of a car, this was the first one. Not only that, but a lot of these parts that are on here, the carburetor, the distributor, all the wiring, there's headers, that came from my grandfather. But what we are doing is not gonna use this as a motor, but it's gonna be kind of a showroom piece for me. We gotta strip this thing down to its bare bones. We're gonna make this thing super pretty and it's gonna look totally epic in my house. Don't tell my wife, but I'm actually gonna put this inside of our home. But as a disclaimer, if you're looking for a video how to properly disassemble an engine, this is not it. I'm taking an impact and going crazy. Oh, by the way, Mom is thrilled that this is going to be gone.
Oh, it's only the third time she's done that. Third motor we had to get rid of.
Is this the last one? Nope.
Nope, we'll find another one.
I heard Fram's got the best filters. Roast me in the comments. Ain't no good no more. Woo, having fun yet? Motor is stripped bare. Working on the freeze plugs right now, pulling those out. We got some fresh freeze plugs that have been sitting in that storage box for longer than I've been alive. Making progress. Sprayed it with some degreaser. Let it sit for a little bit. We're gonna wipe it up and then we'll take it into the driveway and then power wash it. But that's the progress so far. Anybody want some old cast iron heads that are completely useless and make 100 horsepower? Yeah, here you go. It'll be in the dump. Guys, look at this. He's back sanding at his hood again. What in the world? I don't know why he thinks he can save this thing. Look at it. Usually when your paint looks like this, when you sand it, that means the hood is a little uneven. Not only a little bit uneven, but look at all the layers of Bondo and primer and coloring and some surface rust. Yeah, this hood needs to go. Well, the black is on, and holy crap, this looks sweet. That's a night and day difference, what it was. Look at it. This is something I have seriously been envisioning for years. Ever since I built this in high school, I left for college, and I don't know where I saw it. I think it was probably Top Gear, but Top Gear had that V12 Lamborghini block sitting as their coffee table, and I saw that, and immediately I thought, hey, I got a 350 Chevy, the most iconic engine in the entire world. Yes, most iconic engine in the world as a coffee table. I know this is probably one of the worst versions they ever made. This late 80s 350, completely strangled for power, hardly made 200 horsepower, kind of a joke to be honest, but there's so much sentimental value in this thing. This was the first time I got to work on an engine block with my dad. Countless trips out to Grandpa's house to grab miscellaneous parts. I really had no idea what I was doing. To be honest, still don't know what I'm doing, but this is amazing, guys. They were gonna pull this in the garage and let it cure overnight. Let it harden up real good because the lacquer we got is a very hard paint. So this should harden up real nice. Again, I'm not too concerned with the finish on this piece here where the head bolts up, because the last thing I'm going to do is take a sander, sand this all the way down. I actually might sand this edge as well, just to give it that little machined look. Dang, that looks good. And welcome back, y'all. It's only been a few seconds for y'all, but it's actually been a few days. We are back in the garage. The paint on the motor is looking phenomenal. It's been sitting for a few days. It's ready to go. And also, while I've been gone, my dad is nice enough to soak all these pistons and rods in gasoline. So what gas does, it actually has a lot of detergents in it, so it actually will break down all that nasty grime, oil, and dust. So these are almost pretty much ready to paint. I'm gonna hit it with some sandpaper, clean it off real good. We're gonna paint the rods black, and I'm actually gonna press these pistons off. My dad has some pistons that have been sitting in that box since before I was born. They're really pretty, but he obviously has no use for them. He hasn't used it in over 30 years. And what we need to do actually is press these off. In order to do that, we don't have a press. So what I did, I invested in a little press. We have a 6-ton hydraulic ram, basically a press, that we're gonna press these off with. I got this from Harbor Freight, 80 bucks. And I will warn you, if you've never been to a Harbor Freight before, like me, it's a dangerous place. It's like an adult Toys for Us. And yes, I've never been to a Harbor Freight before. We're coming from Hawaii. We don't have those there, but fortunately in Texas, we do have those. I love that place. I will be back very soon. I'm gonna paint the rods black. We're gonna get the brand new pistons on there. And then that's kind of all ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and clear coat the entire thing. I'm gonna sand this portion off, clear the entire thing. Hopefully it'll prevent it from rusting, and hopefully the clear coat will stick. Clear as always temperamental. Hopefully we can make that work today. So I got a ton to get done in a little bit of time. So you guys are going back to a time lapse. I'm getting to work. Here we go again. Looking good. Rods are currently drying. We're almost about there on this side. This side's still drying. So as it's drying, let's go check out the pistons. We're gonna be pressing on there. Oh, that's gonna look so good. By the way, thank you for carrying these for 20 years. I'm not paying you storage fee, but I will.
The motor.
Well, I'll finish it for you. It's just not gonna serve the purpose as it was initially planned. So let's knock these out and get these pressed on the painted rods. All right, guys, we are about ready for some clear coat. We took the sander and went ahead and sanded the top of where the cylinder heads mount up and the intake as well, basically to kind of break up all the black. This gives it that kind of brushed aluminum or just pure metal finish, and I'm hoping my clear coat will actually stick to bare metal So that side, this is all done. And then over here at the timing cover as well, we went ahead and sanded that portion too. The rods, the pistons, these are all done. These are all ready to go. So that was one of the most time-consuming processes, but we got all 8 pistons ready to go. And the last thing I am doing is taking this nifty brush, because when I was sanding, I nicked a couple of these areas here. So basically I'm taking my spray can, spraying the edge of that brush, just lightly touching up some of those edged areas. I'm gonna get this thing touched up, get the clear on there, and then cross my fingers, the clear doesn't flake off. We'll see. And once again, without fail, this clear coat amazes me. If you guys don't know what this is, basically it's a 2-part clear, has a hardener in it. You break the seal when you're ready to use it, mix it up for 2 minutes, and you have to use it within 48 hours or else it hardens. But the fact that it has a hardener in it makes the clear process as close to professional as you can get. We have a little bit left in there, so we're gonna save that for just a minute. And I have 2 solid coats on this thing. If you guys can't tell by that clear going on top of there made this thing even more glossy than I could have even imagined. And what also, the protective coating that I need is actually to cover the bare metal up with that clear coat so that it doesn't rust. I'm optimistic that it won't rust, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But, oh my goodness, that looks so good. Look how shiny this is. Man, this is gonna be so sweet. This is coming out better than I imagined it, and I've been imagining this for years. So here's the engine stand I picked up from summitracing.com. This is what's gonna be holding the engine block when it all is said and done, really. Figured this was the best route. Low profile is gonna be low, perfect height for a coffee table. We have all of our pistons ready to go. We got this one kind of showing what the rest are gonna look like on here. The clear coat came out amazing. It is all dried now, even all the surface where there's just bare metal. Also, my dad convinced me to, in fact, put the camshaft back in. I went ahead and shot this with clear coat. I cleaned it up, put clear on it. That way it does not rust, because these will rust pretty bad. Got myself the manliest, testosterone boosting man coffee table. Even though I don't drink coffee, it's just a table. Ooh, nice and shiny. There's so much clear coat on here, I don't think it's gonna fit. Install a camshaft. I don't think this will ever run again. I'm just spitballing here, but I think I've ruined the engine. Actually, how about this? If this channel gets 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I will make this motor run again. Oh, dude. That'll be fun. Motor's got a camshaft, no pistons, no rods. Actually, technically, it will have pistons and rods. Just not in the motor, it'll be outside the motor. Woo! That motor's heavy.
Earthquake test.
Solid. Woo! Nice. That'll be sweet. Woo! Woo! guys, we're done. What a project. This was something really special to me personally because this engine block was the first kind of engine I've really worked on with my dad. Just full on disassemble, complete rebuild. And unfortunately, it never really served a purpose besides just taking up space in his garage. But I'm happy to say it is serving a purpose now, and a purpose much greater than what it was made for. Well, not really, but it's serving definitely a purpose. And this thing looks so good. Before I show you, in here, this is actually my working office. So this is actually where I do a lot of my video editing, as well as essentially where all the bills really get paid. When we moved into this house, it was a really ugly beige color. And what I wanted to do with this office was give a solid accent wall. This is a very dark gray. It's a matte finish because I wanted to hang some of my surfboards up on the wall there. So those look fantastic. I made this little tabletop as my desk, and et cetera, et cetera. You guys aren't here for the office setup. So here we have it, guys. All finished up, all complete. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. I'm so happy we used all 8 pistons to hold this tabletop up. This is just a generic glass tabletop. My parents, this has been sitting in my parents' house for over a decade. They've been wanting to throw it out the last couple of years, but I told them to hold on because I knew I wanted to do this project. So I finally took that out of their house and the engine block out of their garage. They are more than thrilled to have a little more space in their house. But every decision we made on this motor, I could not be happier. From sanding these portions here to show that machine finish, to show the timing cover, just every decision we made on the final product. My goodness, it looks so good. All 8 pistons, all gloss back, all ready to go. And it's going to be replacing what has served as my coffee table for the last year and a half, which is a box, literally a box with the sheet thrown on there. And I'm about out of time, guys. We have the little guys coming in. So we're gonna be signing off here in just a second. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I am beyond just blown away happy with the way this turned out. Hope you guys enjoyed this process as well. If you did, please scroll down, hit that like button below, or smash that like button. It helps the channel out tremendously. If you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, scroll down, hit the subscribe button below, be part of the Lonestar Hawaiian family. But my little ones are yelling at me, so I'm about out of time. We'll see you guys in a few days for our next video. Until then, y'all take care, and aloha.